century Christians to be the mount where the law was given to Moses. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain. 40 days and 40 nights did Moses stay on the mountain, while the children of Israel encamped in the wilderness before the mount. This Christian shrine marks what is believed to have been the place where Aaron fashioned the golden calf. In the shadow of these majestic heights was born man's moral code. Nestling in the ridge at the base of Jebel Musa's peak is St. Catherine's Monastery, built by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian in the 6th century. Today's inhabitants of the area are Bedouin, whose forebears were Macedonians brought by the Byzantine kings to guard the monastery. At 11 o'clock each day, they come to the monastery to receive their daily bread, a tradition unbroken for 1400 years. About 500 monks originally inhabited the monastery, and from time to time pilgrims came to seek solitude in one of the many white hermitages clinging to the mountainside. Their earthly remains lie in this chapel, where St. Stephen keeps his ghostly watch over them. Entrance to the monastery was originally made through an opening in the upper part of the wall. The wooden cage was hauled up by 4 men. In the 19th century, a gate was built at alley level. These tortuous passages winding through the monastery have been fashioned during the centuries of its existence. The monks believed this to be the traditional burning bush. The custodian is responsible for the general welfare of the 11 monks who inhabit the monastery today. They live in clay dwellings attached to the walls. The main house of prayer is the original church, decorated with the Coptic cross flanked by palm trees. From the 11th century belfry, the monks are summoned to prayer. The carved doors of heavy oak were an offering in the 10th century. The monastery has been enriched by the gifts of pilgrims throughout the ages. They include these gilded figurines of Moses and Aaron. The floor is a pattern of inlaid marble. This is a Byzantine mosaic of the Ascension. Above is a portrayal of Moses receiving the 10 Commandments. The ceiling is studded with gold. The entrance to the ancient refectory bears the coats of arms of knights who made their pilgrimage to the monastery. The interior is decorated with a Byzantine fresco. Professor Polotsky examines photographs taken by the university expedition of manuscripts found in the monastery library. This 9th century Arab document tells of the adventures that befell the head of the monastery at Ain Radian on his way to Ramla to pay taxes to the central government. This illuminated Byzantine manuscript shows Moses beside the burning bush and receiving the law. Another shows him about to lead the children of Israel across the Red Sea. The festive meal in Job's house and its sudden end by earthquake is almost surrealist in style. Professor Polotsky, Professor Mayer and Mr. Ben-Horin find the monastery library a veritable treasure of more than 3,000 rare manuscripts and documents. The library also contains fine texts like this 9th century illuminated gospel in the hands of Archimandrite Christophorus.